to Biz Encounters for another story behind the journey of entrepreneurship. And today's guest is Lavonne Mullet. Welcome, Lavonne.
Thank you, Deborah.
I'm so excited to do this with you. So tell us the name of your business and what you do.
The name of my business is Career Insights. And what I do is really try to help people find a suitable career path for them. My favorite group to work with is high school juniors and seniors. But I also work with anyone, but that's the group I enjoy especially.
Awesome. So when and why did you start your business?
Um, it's my third career, I, and at this point, it's probably more of an avocation than an occupation. But I had always been very involved in my prior marketing, management, and strategy experience in working with Myers-Briggs type indicator, and after I got done doing the corporate thing, and then I was a consultant for a while, and then I decided I wanted to do something more along the lines that could be kind of a give back. And had gotten certified in Myers-Briggs, and I also then decided to get certified in strong interest inventory, which has been around forever. And and I did that. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And then the son of a good friend was working with high school athletes to help them get into, they weren't like D2 type schools, not Division One, they D2 NAIA. And so they were not going to be professional athletes, and they needed to know kind of what kind of a major they should look at. And he said to his mom, how I can help him with everything else. And she said, talk to Lavonne. That is really how I got started in it. And that is probably why I so enjoy that age group.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Cool. So, would you say that you had a very fascinating startup or a boring startup? And how would you say you actually got going?
I got going by default.
There you
Okay.
go.
And it really was. It was kind of like, hey, can you help me? And in fact, his business didn't keep going, but I was having so much fun. And again, as I said before, mine is more of an avocation. So I do a number of these where I don't necessarily get paid, but I also do ones where I do. And as a result of it, a lot of what I've done has been through referral.
Okay, okay, very good. So now a lot of people watching this are folks that are not only just wanting to learn about your business, but they also might be anticipating starting a business or in the new part of starting a business. And this is something that everybody wants to know is how did you secure your startup capital, or did you need much? Did you have everything you needed, or how did that work for you?
For me, the startup capital on this was really minimal. It
Okay.
was it was a sizable fee to go attend a week-long training in Palo Alto, and then buying various supplies. And there are ongoing supply expenses, but they aren't huge because the majority of the expense in this is really my time. So I had a very low startup costs. What I would say is one of the biggest things. Let me back up a second. When I was in my corporate career, I was it was in marketing. I was director of marketing for a Fortune 500 computer company, and we were a sponsor of the Inc. If you're familiar with Inc. magazine, they hold something every year called the Inc. 500 conference. It is the 500 fastest growing small businesses that are private. And I love those conferences, talking with them. And what I learned, because it was all small businesses, and that was the focus that I had at Compaq, And what I learned for people starting up is that they tend to sometimes can tend to outgrow their capital. And that becomes a significant issue for them. So that would be one of the cautions I would give, is to sort of make sure that you have enough capital to get started, which I think is an obvious thing. But then second, make sure that you have a plan in place for how you're going to secure more capital if you start to get ahead of yourself.
Absolutely. And that should be built into any business plan if you're going to do this. Absolutely. That's great. So, did you pretty much have what you need like at home, like a computer or a writing programs or printers? Did you have that stuff already in place?
I had that stuff because I'd been consulting
Okay.
before. And so when I left the Fortune 500 company, I started consulting. It was a computer company, so I was already stocked with computers and all those kinds of things. And I already had an home office set up. So I didn't incur those kinds of, those office startup
Right.
costs is what I should say here.
Right, right. And one of the things I like to tell people is you don't have to have everything at the very beginning. Use what you have. I always say be resourceful. Use what you have. Don't go out and buy
Absolutely.
new every time. You think you got to have something, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, what would you say are some of your success stories? Like what worked really well for you?
What has worked, what has worked really well for me, for starters, is the referral piece. That, which you get referrals when people believe your service has equivalent or greater value than what they paid for it.
Absolutely. That is.
And that has been what I have tried very much to do. And I would say the one of the early ones of these that I did was with a senior in high school who was an excellent soccer player and was going to get a scholarship, had no idea what he wanted to major in. And I had him do, his strong. And when we met, and it was he and his mother, and I was able to walk him through, and the relief on his face when he realized, oh, there really is something that I am interested in and can probably do well at. It was so rewarding. But that mother has been the source of 35% of my clients.
That's cool.
She has told, I have had so many people who, heard about me from her. And, so that's it. And I think, again, as much as it was a relief for her son, it was a relief for her. And
Yeah.
that was what was so rewarding. It was rewarding for me, but it was probably most rewarding was to see his expression.
That is so nice and so rewarding. So, uh, I hate to use the word failures. I like to use the word falling forward. But did you have some experiences that you really learned from that you said, I'll never do that again, or I'm going to do it better?
Yeah, I did. One of them was it was during COVID, and it was with an athlete who, I mean, they weren't really playing football. He was basically in his room. It was a very difficult time. And I came away from that feeling like I wouldn't say I failed him, but I did not have the sense of, oh, I've really given him solid grounding here to go forward. And when I started to reflect on it, and what I changed was that rather than just look at what's on paper, I had done this before, but I think I just got much more committed to it. Rather than just look at what's on paper, for me, they do an assessment. So I have that kind of information about them. It's an online assessment. But I also reach out to them and ask questions and have them respond back to me, either email or text, so that I can get to know them somewhat. And then at the beginning of our meeting, I go back through and re-ask those things so that they're on the table, fresh in everybody's mind, and I can tie back to them. So I think that what I learned from that one particular one was I needed to dig deeper and know that person better before I really started in.
No, that's really good. That's really good. So, who would you say makes up your support system? Is it families, friends, mentors? I mean, who's your people?
Um, so at my age, um, I was super blessed that I had three outstanding mentors when I was going through growing my career. And I learned so much from them. Um, I still stay in touch with one of them. Um, but at this point, I tend to be more of the mentor than the mentee.
Yeah.
But as far as my support group, there are people that I am naturally drawn to that have a business mind. That those are the people that I am most drawn to. I'm not a social butterfly. I'm not a let's chit chat. I mean, you and I have spent enough time together. You know what
Yeah.
things I like to talk about. And I find that I can learn. This is like a really off the wall one, but I had to have somebody come fix my driveway. They actually pumped foam into it. In the process of talking to this man and how he got into this and what he's learned from it, I came away and I was just, I mean, I'm not going to do anything that even remotely relates to that, but it energizes me. Talking to people, excuse me, my voice is giving up. Talking to people about business is energy giving for me.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Yes. I think that's why you and I click so
I
well.
think so too. I think so too.
We have a lot in common as far as business for sure. So how would you describe your ideal client?
Oh, my, I probably have three.
Okay.
Okay. So if I only had to pick one, it is the junior, senior in high school, probably a male who is kind of slipping through the cracks because they aren't a particularly good student. And they don't really think college is not for them. They're not going to pursue that. They couldn't, in their mind, they could never do that. And they think that, it's kind of like whatever job they can find. I love working with them because there are so many opportunities open to them of careers that don't require a four-year college degree. And like, I love the trades. I love what they can represent. I love programs that are like at, WSU Tech. I really find that to be a good avenue for people like that. And it is so rewarding when they see that there is an opportunity out there for them. And that's why I just have a super soft spot for those people who aren't getting the attention of the counselor at school to help them out navigate the college path or the career path. So that one, and then I'll just do two. My second one is somebody who's had a career and they're like at a point where they can retire from the career, but they're not really ready to quit working, but they have no idea what they want to do. And I love also working with that group of people because they have so much life experience that you can draw on in working through things with them. And the opportunities, like they don't even realize that they've had some of these latent interests their lives because they were so busy working and providing in their career setting. So that's the other group that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I like that you want to help people find their encore career, you know, because we're still, people our age are still, we have value we can share
Yes. Oh, so
come
much
back to
knowledge
that.
and value. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the wisdom and everything that came with our careers, and so absolutely, that's so cool. So what words of encouragement do you have for someone who wants to start a business or is just getting started in business?
I would say be very clear on who your market is. Be very clear on who you are trying to reach. Um, when somebody says to me, well, my target market is everyone, that says to me, your target market is no one, because that's not a target.
Right.
And and there's a difference between anyone can use my product and this is the group that will benefit most from my product. Find who that group is. Make sure that that is a group that you can reach. Make sure that that is a group that has the ability to purchase. And make sure that is a group that will truly benefit from your product.
Yes, and that's one of the things I teach in business plan writing is if you turn in a business plan to me and you said everyone's my client, you get an F automatically. It's like you got to put some work into this, and
Recall
really.
sitting with you reviewing some business plans once, and that yes, that was a shared reaction we had completely.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much, Lavonne. This has just been wonderful. Lavonne's contact information will be on the slide following this segment and in the description in the narrative below. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you, Lavonne, and I'll see you at the next Biz Encounters. Bye bye.